Good afternoon and welcome to Nationwide on the network service of the Nigerian Television Authority. I'm Lami Ali. You can follow this news broadcast live on our website nta.ng/live and all our social media platforms displayed on the screen for updates. Perpetrators of attacks on INEC offices and political campaigns should be confronted with maximum force. National Security Advisor Major General Babagana Munguno retired gave the directive at a meeting on election security at the INEC headquarters in Abuja. Mie Ogidi reports.
3 months to the 2023 elections, the process experiencing some scuffles. INEC comes with 2 complaints before 2 top security men.
First, the simultaneous attacks on our local government area offices in Abuja South in Ogun State and Ede South in Osun State. Turning to the spate of attacks during the ongoing political campaigns and rallies, the Commission has so far tracked 50 incidents across 21 states of the Federation and the Federal Capital Territory.
From 8th of October to 9th of November 2022, 50 political attacks recorded, 2 attacks on INEC facilities in a single night require firepower to stem.
Those people who have gangsters working for them, I want to send a very, very clear warning to each and every one, regardless of whichever party, including the party of the president. For as long as you decide to scuttle the electoral process, the law enforcement agencies will equally be uninhibited in reacting to whatever actions you have taken. You will be visited with appropriate, with commensurate response. I think a word is enough for the wise.
From the Inspector General of Police to politicians, no intolerance will be tolerated during the election process.
With the incidences so far, arrests have been made, investigations have been conducted, and some suspects have been charged to court.
Clear directives from the top to the bottom of the security hierarchy to clear any obstruction on the way to violent free polls in 2023. Mie Ogidi, NTA News.
Still on election security, guests on Good Morning Nigeria have called for a holistic review of the security architecture of INEC offices across the country. They noted that recent attacks on INEC offices in the country by criminal elements could undermine the credibility of the 2023 general elections if they are not dislodged and brought to book. Lydia Sampson reports.
Just on Good Morning Nigeria are emphatic that recent attacks on INEC offices are criminal and if not mitigated can escalate to other parts of the country. They decried the lack of arrest and prosecution which can serve as deterrent, stressing that it is giving criminals the audacity to believe they can get away always.
There is always a political statement behind some of this because these people, whether you call them hoodlums, arsonists, bandits, they are not just randomly destroying stuff. Why did they go for election office? And this is compounding the cost of holding 2023 elections.
It's attacking also the credibility of the process or the election itself. So there's a target. Let's discredit the entire process. Let us make INEC not able to conduct this election and there is going to, so it sets the groundwork for whatever comes later on.
Unfortunately, the cost implication for the nation and wrong signals to ad hoc staff of INEC, they say, are major setbacks.
It's important that the ICSES, the committee that will meet today, takes another critical look at the architecture for securing INEC offices. And I think that the commission also should up its game working with ICSES to protect these offices, because the more the offices are destroyed, the more costly it becomes to conduct the elections, and the more difficult uphill, in the sense that if you take, for example, what happened in Anambra, so many of the ad hoc staff disappeared at the last minute as INEC was to conduct the elections, and there are implications. Because if you bring in people at the last minute who are not trained to conduct the elections, there will be glitches.
All stakeholders, they say, must rise to mitigate the clear danger to democracy and the huge financial and economic impact of reconstruction and replacement of INEC sensitive and non-sensitive materials. Increased surveillance on INEC offices was also advocated. In Abuja, Lydia Samson, NTA News.
Nigeria is now part of the global data protection and privacy law whitelist countries with opportunities to transact international businesses, unlike countries without data regulations and supervisory bodies which are blacklisted from doing businesses with others. This is attributed to activities of the newly established data protection watchdog, the Nigeria Data Protection Bureau. Chimdima Ndubusi reports.
Aliyu, just like majority of the world's population, transacts almost all his affairs online.
You use your phone instantly to pay bills, enter social media.
With this, some of his personal information are stored on the internet. This can be accessible to all if organizations with repository of the data don't go all out in safeguarding entrusted information. Only 4% of public establishments are said to comply with data protection regulations. The private sector, 49%. Fingers point at online loaning apps that breach data of defaulting customers when deploying all means to recover debts. It is to ensure that both public and private organizations strictly conform with already laid down data protection and privacy regulations to avoid undue exposure and manipulation that the Nigerian Data Protection Bureau was created earlier this year.
The regulation of the processing of personal data to guarantee rights, privacy, and freedom of Nigerians, the global digital economy. To investigate data privacy breaches, we have visited over 50 federal public institutions to preach the gospel of data protection and privacy.
The data protection regulator is also partnering anti-graft agencies to investigate complaints of data breach and follow it up with the law. In Abuja, Chimdima Ndubusi, NTA News.
Creating the right environments for micro, small and medium enterprises to thrive will drive the growth and competitiveness in the sector and promotes the nation's economy. Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, Otumba Adeniyi Adebayo, reveals this as the opening of the 14th National Council on Trade and Investment meeting in Bauchi. Maria Mubala reports.
With accelerating industrialization, building sustainable economy, expanding business growth and entrepreneurship forming the ministry's priority, trade and investment sector has contributed immensely to job creation and poverty reduction in the country.
To further accelerate industrialization, we are fast-tracking the establishment of special economic zones across the country to increase the availability of infrastructure and provide filtered incentives for value addition.
Stakeholders from across the country were updated with achievements by the host governor, who domesticated the ease of doing business and constructed a trade facilitation center.
This coming on board our 3 years ago, our administration has been initiating and implementing policies with the objective of moving the economy of the state along the trajectory of the nation's overall development aspirations.
With a paradigm shift from the fossil fuel to the non-oil sector, the ministry, also in collaboration with Nigerian Investment Promotion Council, are ensuring the protection of investments that will genuinely benefit not only Nigeria but the African continent. In Bauchi, Mariam Mubala, NTA News.
In Nigeria initiates a youth-led afforestation program codenamed Project 250K at COP27 in Egypt to drive nature-based solutions to climate change. Onengie Fineface has details.
I'm particularly interested in your case because you're a medical doctor and now you are campaigning for tree planting. What caused this transition from the hospital to the field where you plant trees?
Well, honestly, you see there is a very strong nexus between the climate change and health. And as a medical doctor, I come face to face with all these cases caused due to climate change. You have cases of respiratory diseases due to low air quality, and then you have cases of mental health, due to increasing in temperature. So you have two options as a doctor, whether to sit and keep prescribing antibiotics, or you should just do something in order to prevent occurrence of those diseases.
Energetic, full of ideas, Muhammad Hashim joined other young Nigerians on Youth Day at COP27 to articulate Nigeria-centric youth-led climate action.
If you see all these, brilliant minds, they are here, and each one of us has been trying to make a difference in seeing that we help towards providing an enabling environment. So therefore, the youths have a key role to play, and then we're very much sure that if given the chance, the youth are going to deliver.
To promote youth inclusion in climate action, Minister of Sport and Youth Development announces a new national afforestation program, Project 250K.
We're going to work with our youth, 250,000 youth across the country. We already have global partners to plant 250,000 trees.
That will also help them to embark on green projects that are impactful, that would also help them not only to generate additional revenues and income for themselves, but also mainstream them into the day-to-day activities that will help us to reduce our carbon footprint.
It is good news for the youth, especially Hashim, medical doctor turned climate activist, giving them hope for inclusive participation in solving the climate crisis of which they are most impacted. In Sharm el-Sheikh, Egypt, Onengie Fineface, NTA News.
We now join Adeola for stories in Lagos. It's over to you, Adeola.
Thank you, Lami. The Minister of Works and Housing, Babatunde Fashola, says the Afonso Bridge in Lagos will not be open to traffic this Christmas period as rehabilitation work is still ongoing. The minister made the observation during inspection of the bridges in Lagos.
This is not the best of time for commuters and motorists plying the Akpongbon and Eko Bridge, as the bridge will remain closed till May 2023. The Minister of Works and Housing, who took an on-the-spot assessment on the level of rehabilitation work on the affected Akpongbon Bridge, believes that the possibility of reopening the bridge soon seems unlikely, as some of the equipment has been deployed to Costain Ijora Olokpa of the Eko Bridge for emergency rehabilitation work. In a joint media briefing, the Minister of Works reiterated the federal government's resolve to clear illegal occupants under bridges in the state.
We're telling the Lagos state government now, you have our support, you have our encouragement, and we will work side by side with you to remove all the residents who use under bridges as places of trading. They're not places of trading. You can't be cooking there. You can't be setting up manufacturing and assembling processes there and endangering not only your life, but also the lives of others.
It's adding to traffic. It's adding to business losses. People will not be able to sell well in Akpongbon in December because the bridge will not be open. So most people will not go there because of traffic.
The minister, however, appealed to Lagos residents to cooperate with traffic personnel as the state explore ways of easing the gridlock being experienced daily. In Lagos, Ruth Ariel Samuel, NTA News.
The federal government is committed to reviving the economy through well-articulated programs and skills, most especially from the labor and employment sector. Minister of State, Labor and Employment, Festus Keyamo, stated this at a session organized by the National Directorate of Employment in Lagos. Abolade Salami reports.
The push for a larger percentage of the youth under an employable bracket to be fully equipped or empowered with needed knowledge and technical know-how on relevant entrepreneurial skills with a view to reducing unemployment and youth restiveness has cost the federal government a humongous amount of money. Minister of State, Labor and Employment, Festus Keyamo, while acknowledging the significant impact of the government towards sustaining a viable economy space that will facilitate business growth, further stressed that majority of youths can now boast of federal government assistance in terms of skill acquisition or financial empowerment to scale up their business.
We have made remarkable progress in the implementation of employment creation programs to stimulate economic activities that will not only generate blue-collar jobs, but contribute significantly to the much desired economic growth and diversification.
As a government that prioritizes judicious use of public funds and accountability, adequate monitoring of loans made available to startups in order to encourage growth of the small and medium-scale enterprises is one avenue that was designed to create employment for Nigerians.
There is no better time to support and encourage the growth of local business initiatives than now.
The unwavering commitment of the government to pull out as many as possible from the poverty net through empowerment and entrepreneurship development was re-echoed as germane. In Lagos, Abolade Salami, NTA News.
From the nation's commercial hub, we shall join Mina in Enugu for the continuation of Nationwide. But do not forget to follow this news broadcast live on our website, nta.nj/live, and on our other social media handles displayed on the screen for updates. To stay with us.
Prime Minister of Information and Culture, Alhaji Lai Mohammed, welcomes the United Nations World Tourism Organization Secretary General and Ministers of Tourism, Culture and Arts from the UNWTO member states to the first UNWTO Global Conference on Linking Tourism, Culture and the Creative Industries. Date from 14th to 16th November 2022. Venue, National Theatre, Igomu, Lagos. Workshops and technical sessions starts on 14th November. Opening ceremony 15th November, time 10 a.m. A Day with Nollywood, 16th November, time 10 a.m. Special guest, UNWTO Secretary General, Mr. Zurab Pololikashvili. Special guest of honor, His Excellency Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR, President, Federal Republic of Nigeria. Mrs. Lydia Shehu Jafia, MNI, Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Information and Culture. Announcer.
When you think about hospitality and affordable luxury away from home, then you talk about Sharon Ultimate Hotels, a secured and serene environment that offers kingly services such as 24-hour room service, impeccable security with CCTV surveillance, parking lots, free Wi-Fi internet service, free complimentary breakfast, restaurants that offers continental and local dishes, well-equipped fitness center with instructors, swimming pool, 350 capacity multipurpose hall, laundry service, pastry corner, mini mart, and our suites are breathtaking. For reservation, locate us at plot 1710 Tafawa Balewa Way, Area 3, Garikia, Abuja. Sharon Ultimate Hotels, the ultimate place.
I don't know why you brought me to that place. To humiliate me?
Bola?
Put me back there. Give me that. I spoke to her so sternly. Spoke? Women need a bit of tapping. Don't tell me you're one of those men that beat their wives.
You slapped me.
Super story, super story, super story. This is super story.
Good afternoon and welcome to Enugu. To provide a platform for strategic health programming and decision-making by both government and health partners, the Enugu State Government has launched a State Health Partners Coordination Forum. Deputy Governor Cecilia Ezelo, while performing the launch, noted that the forum is born out of the need for a well-structured coordination mechanism for partners in the state health sector. Susan Eze reports.
With over 40 health-focused partners providing vital health system support in Enugu State, the State Health Partners Coordination Forum, here being launched, is expected to, among other things, help the state to coordinate, monitor, and evaluate the activities of these partners. The forum will also provide a platform for health policy dialogue, advocacy, and resource mobilization.
Our experience has then shown that coordination provides the vital mechanism for channeling the activities of partners in order to ensure that the highest possible standards in health programming and budgeting are maintained and continually improved upon.
Though not entirely new, according to the State Commissioner for Health, Dr. Emmanuel Obi, the Health Partners Coordination Forum is being revitalized with a new vision and mission.
The mission is to collectively support Enugu State Government to strengthen her health system for improved health and well-being of her citizens.
Equipment donated by a partner, the World Health Organization, were formally received by the Deputy Governor and handed over to the State Ministry of Health for setting up of the Secretariat of the Health Partners Coordination Forum. In Enugu, Susan Eze, NTA News.
The third quarter 2022 Office Management and Document Security Workshop for Nigerian Army Clerks held at the 82 Division Headquarters, Enugu, has come to a close with a call on participants to put to use all the learned during the 4-day event to ensure document protection and security. Correspondent reports.
The Chief of Army Staff has mandated compulsory training and retraining of Army clerks aimed at enhancing capacity. In line with that directive, the third quarter 2022 Office Management and Document Security Workshop for Nigerian Army Clerks held in Enugu with the theme enhancing the capacity of Nigerian Army clerks for effective performance.
that we have been reminded and exposed to the various dimensions of threat, document security, as well as the need to ensure our offices are properly managed.
Participants drawn from the Army and other sister security agencies were exposed to modern trends in document protection, especially with the increased use of cyberspace for crimes. A team of professionals from 18 unique professions, among others, offered resources and wealth of experience. Certificates were also presented to participants at the end of the seminar. Some participants from sister security agencies who spoke to NTA News expressed gratitude to the Nigerian Army for the training, which they said was timely.
It was very, very good to be here and learn so many things. So now I'm going back to my unit. I have more insight of what documentation and office management is all about.
The General Officer Commanding 82 Division, Major General U.T. Musa, however, solicited the continuous partnership between formations and sister security agencies in tackling.
And that's a bit from Enugu. It's back to Lame in Abuja for a continuation of Nationwide.
Thank you so much, Mina. Now, the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency is projecting 160 billion naira revenue generation in 2023. Director General of the agency, Dr. Bashir Jamu, gave this projection while defending the 2023 budget proposal of NIMASA before the Senate Committee on Marine Transport. National Assembly correspondent Dayo Ogunshola reports.
The appraisal of 2023 budget scrutinies of agencies under Senate Committee on Marine Transport kicked off with justifications of previous appropriations to the agencies. Then, the committee decided to spotlight NIMASA from the point of view of Deep Blue project.
As of today, from the third quarter of 2021 to date, we don't have single attack. In addition to that, the international community in March this year removed Nigeria from that particular stigma of the most dangerous water trade.
This way you maintain and sustain the budget should be sustained over a long period of time.
Two other agencies that appeared before the committee are Nigeria Shippers Council and the Council for the Regulation of Freight Forwarding in Nigeria.
And so we believe that we will start implementing the ICT, and that in itself is a revenue earning source that will definitely address all of these challenges that we have been established here.
Meanwhile, the House Committee on Public Petitions directed the Public Complaints Commission to provide comprehensive report on how it expended the Federal Government Intervention Fund for 2022.
People must come be here on Tuesday.
Another question.
That you'll be able to tell or capture what you use the intervention money to do. How much have you received? Even if it means I didn't do. Because we are supposed to know. I don't know who gave you the impression that that money is different from budget.
For this reason, the budget defense was shifted to another date. From the National Assembly, Dayo Ogunshola, NTA News.
Communities in hydroelectric power producing areas development commission in Niger State are advocating improved intervention in the areas of security, healthcare, education and road infrastructure to guarantee quality life for the teeming population. Those were some of the issues raised as the presentation of a 5-year medium-term strategic plan by the Commission to enable it to deliver on its mandate effectively. Fatima Aliu reports.
The 5-year strategic plan, which covers all sectors of the economy, is to enable IPADEC to define its vision and objectives as well as establish the sequence of its achievements. The event also availed the representatives of the communities under the Commission an avenue to make valid inputs and assessment of the Commission.
As a government, we will continue to support all federal government agencies and commissions in the discharge of their responsibilities.
The local government administration doors are only open for intervention agencies like IPADEC.
I want a more aggressive and massive intervention in all these areas of your concern.
Chairman of IPADEC Governing Council, Joseph Itiaf, and its Managing Director, Abubakar Sadiq Kelua, both reiterated the Commission's commitment to improve on the lives of host communities and ensure transparency and accountability.
The Governing Council has approved for us to go and look at the tertiary hospital owned by the state and look at what is the major diagnostic equipment it lacks.
IPADEC has continued to provide succor to the communities through empowerment of its teeming youths, medical outreaches, distribution of relief materials, and rehabilitation of water networks, among other interventions. In Mina, Fatima Aliu, NTA News.
The Lagos Business School is working to improve knowledge and administrative skills of public servants towards effective design and administration of policies, programs and services for economic growth. This is being achieved under its public sector leadership program. Benny Adams reports that the school assembled stakeholders in the public and private sector in Abuja for a thought-provoking session on the urgent need to make Nigeria work better.
Intelligence is not just economics as we see it. Science, technology, cyber, all this, everything that will impact on the national economic interest of America. They have experts there that are thinking 24/7.
It was a moment of frank talk about making Nigeria work better, and very senior public servants, security chiefs, and private sector players share experiences and views on the way to go.
The Lagos Business School Public Sector Leadership Program will usher in further collaboration between LBS and public sector stakeholders in areas of critical capacity development to lead the public sector to deliver superior value to Nigerian public.
For NTA's Executive Director, Administration and Training, it is time to walk the talk.
Until we are able to get rid of this and look at justice, fairness, equity, effective representation, then and there will we begin to build the Nigeria of our dreams. And we believe that going forward, we will look towards that.
Halfway we realize we have problems and we have to resolve and we have to go back to square one. We don't have to do that. If from the beginning we do impact assessment, risk assessment, how am I going to get over this if it develops? You'll have made your plan.
They all agree that rebuilding society on the foundation of justice, fairness, rule of law, effective representation, and competent leadership is the way to go. In Abuja, Benny Adams, NTA News.
The presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party and former Vice President of Nigeria, Atiku Abubakar, has reaffirmed that his administration will increase empowerment for women if elected president in the general election next year. Correspondent Timothy Yusuf reports that Atiku made the commitment as the unveiling of the strategic communications brand of his presidential campaign in Abuja. He stated that increased prosperity must equal increased empowerment of women and the youth. Details of this report will come to you in our subsequent bulletin. Now, the Presidential Campaign Council of the People's Democratic Party has expressed confidence that the PDP disagreements with members of the Integrity Governors led by the Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike would soon be resolved. Director Strategic Communications of the Atiku Kowa Campaign Organization, Dele Momodu, disclosed this at a media briefing in Abuja. Timothy Yusuf reports.
The PDP presidential campaign has so far held in 4 states of the country. The Governor Nyesom Wike of Rivers State led Integrity Group with 4 other governors, Benue, Oyo, Abia and Enugu, have however boycotted the party's national campaigns owing to some internal party squabbles. The disagreement the PDP Presidential Campaign Council is hopeful will soon be a thing of the past.
The candidate is very serious about bringing everyone on board, and we're happy.
The peace effort initiated by the presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar, Momodu emphasized, was beginning to yield results. The campaign council security director is also putting formal complaints letter for onward submission to security agencies and the National Peace Committee on alleged attack on party members during its campaigns in Kaduna and Borno states, Momodu concluded. Meanwhile, the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Atiku Abubakar, has welcomed reports that the governor of Rivers State, Nyesom Wike, and his group are favorably disposed to the resolution of the issues with him. Atiku, in a statement through his media advisor Paul Ibe, also expressed his commitment to a negotiation that will resolve the crisis and pave the way for a much stronger united PDP. He noted that never at any time of the differences that ensued has the doors been closed to Governor Wike and his group. Atiku enjoined every leader of the party and their supporters, irrespective of their leanings, to be open-minded and support the process of resolution of the extant issues. Timothy Yusuf, NTA News.
Chairman of the Women Wing of the 2023 Tinubu Shetima Presidential Campaign Council, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, says resettling internally displaced persons to their communities will receive the attention of government if Tinubu is voted president in 2023. As part of commitments to this plan, wives of the APC presidential candidate and his vice donated food items to internally displaced persons in Area 1, Abuja. Salihu Gwanara has the details.
If there is life, there is hope. And we keep on encouraging them that they should not lose focus.
Words of encouragement from the former First Lady of Borno State, Nana Kashim Shettima, to the internally displaced persons from Goza in Borno State who are settled in Abuja since 2014. In the spirit of electioneering campaigns ahead of the 2023 presidential election, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, on behalf of the women wing of the Tinubu Shetima presidential campaign, donated items including 100 bags of rice, 500 wrappers, 500 tubers of yams, 100 cartons of noodles, 30 cartons of vegetable oil, and cash to serve as empowerment grants for youths in the camp.
We can't live in our homes and expect our brothers and sisters to be, sleeping in sheds around. That we will make sure that we continually remind our husbands of the plight of these people, that they have to be resettled.
Tinubu Shetima mandate is for all Nigerians, and we are willing to support in whatever way that we can bring succor to our people. All these things that we bring to us, each of everybody, he will take it and eat it. We will continue praying till we see that he claims to the stage by the grace of God.
The team assured them of a better life outside the camp if Tinubu is given the mandate. In Abuja, Saliu Gwanara, NTA News.
Mobilizing women for effective participation in the 2023 general elections was the focus of a seminar put together by the New Nigeria People's Party towards building a support base for its presidential candidate, Senator Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso. The forum agreed that any candidate who is truly ready to win the election must give due attention to women, who are the majority of the voting population. David Irie reports.
The campaign strategy of the NNPP is to give attention to various groups relevant in the electioneering, build a support base around them with emphasis on what they stand to gain from the victory of Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso. These women, selected from all the various groups across the federation, will serve as foot soldiers to take the NNPP campaign to the grassroots in order to woo more female voters to the party.
We shall mobilize fellow citizens to join NNPP, support its candidacy, vote for the party, and ensure our voice is heard. You can have a beautiful program. That's a great thing. But this is not marketed as that women. They will not know what is the content.
The leadership of the party is mindful of the likely benefits if the women are able to spread to every ward and local government the leadership qualities of Senator Kwankwaso and his agenda for the women, if elected.
If you are looking for 35% or 50% or parity, you must get education part.
If you like education, you cannot get education. If you are not educated, there's no way you can give it respect and you take it off. So education is the foundation.
Free natal and maternal health care in all government health facilities across the Federation, in collaboration with state and local governments, is part of the policies for women contained in the presidential blueprint recently unveiled by Senator Kwankwaso. In Abuja, David Ire, NTA News.
Ibadan Network Center is our next stop, and Larry is standing by. Hello, Larry.
To you, Lami, and welcome to Ibadan. As part of measures to reduce the impact of flooding, Oyo State government has distributed relief materials to flood victims and vulnerables across the 33 local government areas of the state. Grace Ayonleke reports.
Itesiwaju and Ibarapa North local government areas were the worst hit of the flood and rainstorm that ravaged the state. Relief materials distributed include bags of rice, maize, clothing, and household items to mitigate the effect of economic hardship occasioned by the flood and other disasters on the people.
Having realized the strong nexus between development and disaster event, the state government stands firmly on strengthening the infrastructural and capacity resilience, food security, maintenance of law and order, and crime reduction.
The people that actually need the relief materials are the ones that get the relief materials.
It affected our people there. That is why I want to thank our governor. People will be relieved now through this material distributed today.
We need to prepare better so that we're not going to have worse situation next year. If you can prepare, then you're going to have lesser impact of the flood.
The state government at the occasion presented vehicles for the smooth operations of Oyo State Emergency Management Agency, or ISEMA, in Ibadan. Grace Ayonleke, NTA News.
As part of efforts to boost food production in the country and reduce farmer-herders clashes, the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development has organized a workshop for farmers on greenhouse farming options. Adebola Agbaje has details of this event, which took place in Ogbomoso, Oyo State.
In Nigeria, greenhouse farming is gradually finding its roots as one of the key priorities of President Muhammadu Buhari's administration under the Economic Sustainability Plan is to improve the agricultural sector, which is the key sector identified for driving the diversification of the economy, employment generation, and to achieve food and nutrition security. To achieve these objectives, the ministry is promoting improved greenhouse technology for the production of agricultural produce to enable year-round food availability in the country.
In greenhouse, after 3 months, your tomato starts producing, and it produces for 4 months, which means you have 4 months long of harvesting tomatoes.
They use less of chemicals purposely because they already have an organized environment where they plant, which will not allow pests to thrive well.
Use hybrid seed. Don't use all this common seed you get from the market, because at the end of the day, you don't know the sources of this seed. When you use hybrid seed, you are sure that, okay, there's a root where the seed came from.
They appeal to the government to ease the legislation on the ban on fertilizers in Nigeria, because if the country must go far on this biotech agriculture, there is need for solid fertilizers. From Ogbomoso, Adebola Agbaje.
Those are the trending reports from Ibadan at this hour. Nationwide continues with Abubakar in Maiduguri. After this break, stay with us.
A new edition of TV Guide is out, featuring an impeccable personality with purposeful leadership. Alhaji Muhammad Meitakobi, the Executive National President of Road Transport Employers Association of Nigeria.
In 774 local governments, will be able to put all our structures in everywhere. I'll be able to bring the regions members together, to reconcile them, to come and work for the progress of the association.
Welcome to a world of fun and excitement as we also present an assemblage of professionals in the media space. Some compelling NTA programs, current trends in the fashion world, ICT, sports, entertainment, and lots more. Get a copy at the vendor near you or any NTA station nationwide. TV Guide, your indispensable companion.
Weekend File, your Saturday delight, going to places from the obscure to the hinterland and cities, bringing you development stories and perspectives, connecting the people with government and stakeholders on critical issues of our national life.
We are live in Abuja.
It's 9 p.m. every Saturday on the network service of the NTA. Weekend File, you can't afford to miss it.
We're glad to know that you are still part of Nationwide, and this is Maiduguri Network Center. Let's move on now. Wife of Borno State Governor, Dr. Falmata Umar Zulum, has inaugurated clinic and ICT center in Yarwa Government Girls Secondary School, Maiduguri, and pledged commitment to turn around the fortunes of the girl child in Borno. Pauline Kujevana will now bring us more details.
The clinic and ICT center, built and equipped by Multi-Aid and Charity Mark Initiative in collaboration with United Nations High Commission for Refugees, UNHCR, has 20 desktop computers, 30 iPads and solar panels for constant power supply, in addition to access to free first aid services. Wife of Borno State Governor and founder Mark Initiative, Dr. Falmata Umar Zulum, acknowledged the importance of ICT in this modern era, and its integration into education system will pave new ways for learning and improve engagement of the students.
When ICT is integrated into our lessons, students become more engaged in their work. This is because technology provides different opportunities to make it more fun and enjoyable in terms of teaching the same things in different ways.
Executive Director Mark Initiative, Mariam Gimba, and the representative of UNHCR, Mohammed Al-Hadi, pledged more support to women and girls capacity building, education, and ICT.
The initiative intended to enhance information technology literacy in women and girls. Multi-Aid and Charity initiative will ensure the full utilization and production of the facility.
We implore you to take maximum advantage of this project as you aim to make a name for yourself.
Commissioner of Education, Engineer Lawal Abba Kilby, and Principal of the school, Falmata Mustafa, commended the governor's drive in education, considering the 1.8 million out-of-school children in Borno. The students' performance earned them dignity kits by the wife of the governor, Dr. Falmata Umar Zulum, in Maiduguri. Pauline Kujevana, NTA News.
Away from that now, to tell you that Nigeria Union of Journalists, Borno State Council, in collaboration with European Union and British Council, have organized a 2-day capacity building training for journalists in the Northeast to commemorate International Day to End Impunity for Violent Crimes Against Journalists. Journalists from different media organizations across the state attended the workshop held at Dujima International Hotel, Maiduguri. Memuna Garba has the rest of the story.
The training had as its theme promoting safety of journalists in post-conflict era, was timely considering the post-insurgency recovery drives of both the state and federal government. Stakeholders tasked journalists to step up their reportorial skills to avoid issues of disinformation and misinformation by rising to the challenges of the profession, as well as need for proper knowledge on post-conflict issues and their safety.
This is one seminar too many. In the sense that Borno has lost about 3 journalists to the Boko Haram conflicts. This could have been maybe avoided if at all earlier on there was certain kind of training that were given to the journalists. The profession is quite a credible one, and that it is necessary for journalists to understand its principles, to understand its borders, to understand the values that should govern them in the practice. These are the things we expect to get from the new leadership, so as to bring back the lost glory of the NUJ.
Chairman NUJ Borno State Council, Comrade Dauda Iliya, assured to continue to provide requisite training on journalism to members. At the end of the workshop, communique issued resolved that the council will facilitate the training of members to cut across all chapters to address the decreasing number of qualified journalists within the media space in the state, among other issues. In Maiduguri, Maimuna Garba, NTA News.
If you're just joining us, this is Nationwide on Africa's window to the world, the Nigerian Television Authority. Let us at this point return to Lami in Abuja for the rest of the news. Good evening.
Thank you, Abubakar. Now, the Ubuntu Center for Africa Peace Building and Development has been unveiled to the public. Kenneth Nanim reports that the initiative is designed to provide a dialogue platform for peace and reconciliation through the people.
Many people have different ways of contributing their quota to nation building, but for the initiator of Ubuntu Center for Africa Peace Building and Development, Professor Oshito Oshita, closing gaps identified in the socio-economic development of communities within the nation is of essence, and adequate communication is key.
Ubuntu Center will be able to deal with a lot of the issues that are troubling people in the open society. And so we want to help to organize them and also to give them empowerment. Empowerment in the sense that they should have skills that they can live on their own.
Remarks on some attitudes that define the country as a people resonated strongly, energizing feelings of patriotism.
Ubuntu Peace Building Initiative should include a huge space for discussing with religious leaders on how to make their adherents live what their holy books say.
There was also the conviction that the initiative must be supported in order to thrive.
We will be happy to share it with the Indian companies and request them to be part of this noble initiative.
The center is based in Ogoja, Cross River State, a deliberate effort to bring the town up to speed with development in line with its historical relevance. Kenneth Nanim, NTA News.
The National Human Rights Writers Association of Nigeria, an advocacy group, has commended the Nigerian army for the recent successes against enemies of the state across the country. The group, led by its coordinator Emmanuel Omubiko, gave the commendation while on a working visit to the office of the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Farouk Yahaya. The group expressed confidence that Nigeria will soon achieve total victory in the ongoing war against terrorism and other security challenges owing to its fierce combat strategies.
We want to condemn totally and absolutely the attacks on men and officers of the army, and in fact, attacks targeting strategic national security interests is absolutely condemned.
We have human rights death. And those human rights that are even not put in the barrack in most places, they're in the town so that you can accept them. They are not in the barracks to say that even when you have complaint, you cannot even go to the barracks. No. And that's what I be meant to put all of them where you can accept them and complain if there is need.
The Army Chief stressed that the military will sustain its constitutional mandate of securing the nation's territorial integrity against external aggression and assist the civil authority when called upon. Let's take sports update.